our greatest trials.
That's why I didn't accept it. Because he just immediately sends me up.
Hey, this way to Morning Breeze Village.
Gosh, look at this view. Now, I mean, this was gorgeous enough on its own when Pandaria came out, but since other expansions like Legion came out where they increased the vision radius and like how far you could see things, like, it's just even more beautiful. Like, seriously, when Legion came out, they made it where you could see much farther, and oh my goodness. Zhao Ren, the Onyx Serpent. He looks very much like the mount that drops from the Shaw of Anger, doesn't he? That's a mount I'm probably never going to get. Hello, Papaneeks. The Law Walker is beginning her lesson just down these stairs if you want to listen in. The Law Walker. Let us see. I hope I am not too late to hear the lesson. Oh. Hello. Am I late? I would very much like to hear. Law Walker am I. Thank you, Rulin. That was beautiful. Oh, Law Walker Rulin. I guess I missed that. Could you sing it once more for the students who just arrived? Yes, I suppose I could. This is the song of Lu Lang, the first Pandaren explorer. Why can't I understand any of the words? The song is written in the old tongue, the language of emperors and scholars. Hardly anyone speaks it anymore. What is the song about? It is all about his adventures. Brave Lu Lang set out to explore the world on the back of a sea turtle. Does anyone remember the turtle's name? Yin? Shenzhen Su. That's right. The turtle was called Shenzhen Su. At first, he was only big enough for Lu Lang to sit on. He grew and grew and grew, so big that now some people call him the Wandering Isle. Question, how? We live on the back of a big turtle? Yes, how? Our home is on Shenzhen Su's back. How? Haven't you ever paid attention? I just thought it was weird that the mountains had flippers. Lu Lang discovered many things as he explored the world. Oh, yes, how? Does the turtle know that we are here? That is a good question. Nobody has spoken to Shenzhen Su for many generations. He only ever spoke to Lu Lang. But I am certain that Shenzhen Su knows that we are here, and he cares for every one of us. Even Hao? Hey! Especially Hao. Lu Lang once said, "Noble is he who always asks questions." We should all be like children, for the world is our elder, and has many things to teach us. Yeah, you should all be more like me. Ugh, I'd rather jump off this bridge. Students, pay attention now. Does anyone know how often Lu Lang went back to Pandaria? Whenever he got hungry? No, Yin. Lu Lang would eat wherever he explored. He returned to the main continent of Pandaria once every 5 years. But isn't Pandaria hidden somewhere? Nobody can find it. You are right, Yin. It is hidden away, behind a cloak of mist. Does anyone remember how Lu Lang was always able to find it? None? Because sea turtles will always return to the beach where they were born. That's right. Lu Lang always had a way back home. Every 5 years he would return to pick up more explorers. Does that mean that our moms and dads and grandparents were all explorers too? Yes, how? Only the bravest Pandaren joined Lu Lang on his turtle to explore the world. But we don't explore very much anymore, do we? Shenzhen Su has not made landfall for a long time, but that hasn't stopped some Pandaren from exploring anyway. Like Chen and Lily Stormstout. Yes, like Chen and Lily. They're out exploring the world. Maybe someday you will too. I want to explore the world. No, you don't. It's full of trolls. Oh, well, forget it then. Lord Walker, whatever happened to Lu Lang? I am glad you asked. Yin, Lu Lang explored the world his entire life and raised many children here on the Wandering Isle. Eventually, he grew very old and visited Pandaria one final time. But nobody else wanted to go exploring with him, so he left. Shenzhen Su has never returned to Pandaria. Tired now, Lu Lang said goodbye to Shenzhen Su, his oldest friend. Then Lu Lang went up to the Wood of Staves, carrying with him a bamboo umbrella that he always took on his adventures. He opened his umbrella, planted it in the ground, and sat underneath its cool shade. He closed his eyes and became one with the land. And then, do you know what happened? What? What? His umbrella sprouted. It grew roots, flowered, and became a tree. That's impossible! Well, it's true. If you ever go to the Wood of Staves, you can see it, along with the budding staves of all the elders who came before us, growing now into giant trees. That's a sad story. It's not a sad story. Lu Lang himself said, "Never mourn a life well lived." And I think he lived a very, very good life. We owe everything that we have to Lu Lang, the first Pandaren explorer. We tell his story so that he will always be remembered. Thank you, Roland. That was very beautiful. I hope once again you can see why I absolutely love the Pandarens and Missa Pandaria. Stuff like that is a great example as to why. And I love the Lore Walkers as well, by the way. And of course, as you can probably imagine, Lore Walker Cho is one of my absolute favorite characters. Oh no, it's more of the Hosen.
I am out of rage.
By the way, just to point it out in case you didn't know, when I introduced Jim Cummings in part 1 of this, when he introduced the starting zone, that is his character Lore Walker Cho, who was introducing this zone. That was part of the, the cool point is that Lore Walker Cho is the one who introduces you to the Pandaren starting zone. But of course, his voice is just so memorable and iconic that I just couldn't help but point it out. So take note, Jojo is here. There's G, and there's Asa.
The time to act is always now.
The amount of time that Asa spends practicing seems excessive, but you can't deny the results. Her form is beautiful. Maybe you should go talk to her. Asa? I don't know what to say to her. Should I tell her that she's gorgeous? Or would she find that creepy? Maybe I could tell her that I admire her poise. But then she might think that I don't have any personality. Aww. Gee, I can totally relate to what you're thinking right now. I can totally relate because that reminds me of the kind of thinking that I used to have back in the days of like high school and such. If I ever had a crush on someone and I I would be like, what would I say to her? I don't know what I would say. You start quite second guessing if like, maybe I should say this. Oh, but then maybe she might think that. And how many of you guys out there have ever had this kind of For those of you who didn't get all the girls and weren't the jocks who's like, yeah, I got a ton of girlfriends, that you were like, the shy, nerd type like me who didn't have any girlfriends or didn't go out on any dates or girls weren't interested in him, that had this kind of thinking where you had a crush on someone, you wanted to tell her and try and get close to her, but you were always worried. And let's just say I very much feel for G, because I very much relate to him, especially when I started to realize that he had a crush on Asa and he just didn't know how to express that to her. But don't worry, by the end of Pandaria, he and Asa do end up together.
The greatest virtue is the will to act.
Give me a hug. Our parting was not so long this time. I quite prefer it that way. You've been working with Asa, have you not? Our disciplines have always kept us apart, so I know little of her. Watching her perform her exercises now, I must confess that she possesses a grace and discipline that is strangely alluring. There are more pressing thoughts, though, aren't there? Let's take care of this monkey problem while we search for Da Feng. We must help Elder Xiao Pai. There are few more deserving of our kindness. On the way here, you surely noticed these scrolls of wisdom that were hanging in the grotto to the south. The Hosen have defiled many of them, and sadly, they are not recoverable. We'll deal with the problem directly. Burn the defiled scrolls. Wipe the Hosen writings away entirely. Do not worry for Elder Xiao Pai. The people shall come together and help him rewrite the wisdoms in time. I shall see to that. Oh! I accidentally hit F for my roll. What do you want me to bring you this time, Jojo?
What do you need?
Gather me stone blocks from the ridge of laughing winds to the south. You have seen my strength twice, yet I still spy doubt within your eyes. It will not last.
Until next time.
Gosh, he's like that, he's like, okay, for those of you who have played some of the recent Mortal Kombat games, how much of you know one of the challenge modes, which is like, test your might, where you're trying to, break your hand through something? That's kind of what he's doing. Hello, Master Shangxi.
You are most welcome.
The Hosen have stolen our brushes and are painting over our scrolls of wisdom with their own wisdoms, if you can call them that. If you're here to help, stop them and bring our brushes back before they can do more harm.
May you find mastery in your passions.
So this is a funny little bit here, because we get to see some of the things that the Hosen have written on these scrolls. Now, if you're wondering, why would the Hosen do this? And what would they write on here? Well, you'll get to see what they write. And if you're wondering why, it's partly because, well, Hosen have very short lifespans. Note, this is called a Fafeng wise man. Yes, there are wise men amongst the Hosen. But again, just get a kick out of some of the stuff that are written here. Wet fur not fun to sleep on. I really hope I get my favorites in here. Oh, don't show me the same one over and over. I want to show off some of my favorites. There's some good ones in here. Oh. Stone blocks. Don't pull own tail when there are other tails to pull. Steal a banana from a Hosen. Expect a angry Hosen. Okay, so there are a couple that I absolutely love when you do this quest that sadly didn't come up. One of them is Peel banana first, eat second. Another one is, poo not good for eating, good for throwing. I just love that one of them is, peel banana first, eat second. Come on. Some may think that's silly and childish or whatever, but come on. It's funny. And it makes sense, actually, when you think about it. I mentioned how Hosen have short lifespans. So they are writing down what they think are their own wisdoms onto paper. Because they think that that's kind of what you're supposed to do, because they see and observe the Pandarens do it. So they think that's what you're kind of supposed to do, which is write down your wisdoms on a piece of paper to be passed on. So these are what they consider to be their own wisdoms. I almost want to abandon this quest and do it again just to actually show them to you, but, it's just funny how I had a couple actually repeat, but those are a couple of my favorites. Gotta find a couple more Hosen to get the brushes from. Oh.
It is too far away. I need to target something.
Ding! So now we have our revive. And then we have Zen Pilgrimage. Now, this is a great ability. It doesn't really help us right now, but it will help out later when you're actually trying to level one of your monks, because this will take you to the temple down here in Pandaria in Kunlai Summit, because this is the place where you will go in order to get the daily that I mentioned to let you be able to get an extra 50% experience for, I think it's an hour or 2 hours from killing enemies and fulfilling quests. So, also this will then change when you get to Legion, as this will bring you here to the Temple of the Five Dawns, which is your class order hall in Legion. So it's a nice way to just go straight back to your order hall as a monk.
You have the eyes of one who has traveled much.
I do not wish to disparage the Hosen for their aspirations. Each race must walk its own path. In this moment, however, they are bringing harm to our bodies and our culture. That is a line that cannot be crossed. I am very thankful, young one. I will soon begin the slow task of documenting all our wisdoms again, so that the scrolls can be hung for the benefit of all to come.
Family, friends.
Very much like how the scroll of the lore of our artifact weapons in Legion is hung up here in the Order Hall for Lord Walker Cho to watch over.
Speak up.
Alright, Jojo, here you go. Good. My head. It is harder than the strongest stone. Step back and let me dispel your doubts.
Enough of that.
These are the densest stones across all of Shenzhen-su, yet they are as nothing before my mighty head. BAM! Any who yet doubt my strength are simply foolish. It's a sideshow. I'm telling you, it's a sideshow. He just loves going around and just showing this off. I feel like perhaps we should actually try and find something that could finally challenge him.
I'm with you.
You're a good man. You have proven that again and again, and I'm glad to stand beside you. 15. Alright, this is the second time that we've had to deal with ravaging Hosen. I think it's time we take care of this problem. The Hojin way. No more patience, no more meditation. We go to the source. We're going into the Hosen village to the north, and we're punishing those smelly troublemakers. I've been looking forward to a chance to fight by your side again. Papaneeks, I need you to understand that the way of the Hojin is not the way of violence. When fighting is needed, we will not hesitate. But when fighting is not needed, neither do we instigate. However, the direct solution is often cutting the head off the snake, as they say. The Hosen have a leader in instigating these attacks. If we remove Ruck, we won't have to wipe the Hosen out entirely. I know you are not of the Hojin, but Are you with me in what must be done? The monkeys have been stealing from the village during their attacks. We should be fine without some of the extra food stores, but the idea of monkeys with fireworks, I'm a little bit concerned. Not to mention, who knows when some fireworks will come in handy. Help me recover the stolen fireworks from their village. Alright, talents. Let's see. So, Eye of the Tiger. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Tiger Palm also applies Eye of the Tiger, which deals nature damage to the enemy and healing to the monk over 8 seconds. Chi Wave. A wave of chi energy flows through the friends and foes, dealing nature damage and healing. Bounces up to 7 times to targets within 25 yards. Hurls a torrent of chi energy up to 40 yards forward, dealing damage to all enemies and healing to the monk and allies in its path. Yeah, I can definitely see these as dungeon and raid abilities. We're going to just stick with Eye of the Tiger, though, just to keep it simple. Now, let's see. I need to see if there's somebody here. Ah, there we go. Excuse me, blacksmith. I need to check if I need to repair anything.
It is very...
Also, I need to clear my bags.
Slow down. Life is to be savored. May the red crane live forever in your heart.
Alright then, we will head up this way. Towards the Hosen village.
Let's tackle this one together.
Oh. Alright, G, let's go.
I do not have a target. I need to get closer. I need a target.
Now, what is this? This giant jade tiger pillar doesn't seem to fit in amongst the Hosen buildings. What it does seem is very hard. Very solid. You know just the person to bring this to. Oh, Jojo! I have something for you. Good, a true challenge. Let us put this pillar to the test.
Goodbye.
This is magnificent. I've never seen craftsmanship so fine. There is only one thing to do. I must smash it. Once and for all. All shall know the power of my mighty brow. BAM! Oh, my head. It hurts so badly. The pillar must contain the enormous power. Perhaps stronger than my brow. I'm just gonna lie down for a while until this headache goes away. I'm sorry, Jojo. Poor Jojo. He finally found something that was stronger than his head. When we get to 16, we'll get Stagger. I believe the,
Let's tackle this one.
yeah, Ruck is over here. Well, let's go deal with Ruck first. Ho! I've been set ablaze. An orb.
I am out of range.
That all you've got? This monkey's about to get slapped. And he's down for the count. Ha! Good going.
Thanks, G. Alright, now we shall deal with the rest of the hosen. There's multiple G's here.
Too far away. I do not have a target.
Fireworks.
I need to be closer.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Of course, G just keeps them all here. I was trying to bring them over so that Hunter could also be able to have a shot, but never mind. Oh, here we go.
Too far away.
Another monk.
I am out of range.
There we go. Let us all fight them together. There we go. There's more over here. I do not wish to fight you, but if you wish to fight me, then I shall defend myself.
It's good to see you.
Invigorating. A good fight always makes me feel better. I think you've got a bit of fortune in you. Stick with me and I'll bring you around, I think. And now we have Stagger.
It is too far away.
Tackle this one together.
So you can see light stagger.
I need to get closer.
One damage is being staggered every half a second. Shows amount of damage remaining. Yeah.
Welcome.
I'm thinking we should celebrate with these later. What do you think? Ace has been meditating on the lake since we've arrived, all her thoughts focus on Dafeng. I don't know what she hopes to discover out there, but she's no fool, and Master Shang-Chi has entrusted this task with her. You will need to cross the ropes leading from the end of the docks to reach her. It shall test your balance, but I think you're up to the task.
See you at the dock.
See you there, G. Ah, Hosen. I also like plenty of the Hosen characters in Pandaria. You know, the Monkey King for one, even though sometimes his rhyming can get a little grating. But there's some other Hosen characters we encounter, like Ken. One of my favorite lines he's ever said is, "What the ookan ork?"
I am out of range.
It was just some, it's just a line I found very funny. He like does a double take where he looks back and forth between two things and just goes, "What the ookan ork?" It's just very funny, very cute. I know some people, they see that and they think it's stupid and childish and blah 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 blah. And you have to have a more lighthearted time sometimes. By the way, take note.
Answers become clear.
That is Dafeng. A vision of Dafeng being chased by that onyx serpent we saw earlier. I am impressed. Most students that are even capable of reaching this spot do so soaking wet. If you listen long enough, the wind will carry the answer to you. Dafeng, the spirit of air, has been scared from the skies by Zhao Ren, the onyx serpent. He hides within the chamber of whispers at the south side of the plateau. Go to him. Ji and I will join you there. I must make sure I do not fall. After all, I do not want wet fur. Poor Jojo. Don't worry, we'll see Jojo again later.
Behold the wonders of Pandaria.
Like, why does it keep telling me to put these weapons on?
I hope you find these to your liking.
I did. Thank you. By the way, as you can see, that's what you get as a starting pet if you make a Pandaren hunter. A turtle, because of course you do. And apparently that hunter is going to focus on their mining.
We need to wait for the winds to settle, then make a break for the cover of the far hallway. Wait for another opening. I'll meet you on the far side.
Oh, you should have come up here. So yeah, those winds can kill you, as you just saw. Dafeng.
Dafeng, what's wrong? Why are you hiding back here?
Dafeng looks frightened as you approach, but settles a bit at the sound of your voice.
Hello, friend.
Dafeng, the spirit of air, is terrified by Zhao Ren, the onyx serpent. We must help him face that fear, or face it for him ourselves. When I told Ji of the serpent, he said he had an idea and would begin preparations outside of the chamber. Despite his rash nature, I must admit I envy his passion and conviction. Let us go outside and confront the onyx serpent. So yeah, you can see that they both admire something about each other, and they kind of bounce each other out. Obviously, it's a lot of symbolism. My gosh, how many players died to this? I just simply didn't realize what they were supposed to do here. Come on. You know, it's very much a lot of symbolism, very much similar to the Alliance and the Horde, so... Alright, so I can't face him directly yet. So what G did is he set up the fireworks that we just got from the Hosen, and we can launch them and use them against the serpent to damage him and bring him down.
That's the way to do it.
So now he's coming down like, oh.
You have done it. Now quickly, let's attack it while it is grounded.
Whoa! Oh! And that right there is one of the reasons why I love monks.
It's down. Let us finish it off.
I do not have a target.
Dafeng! Shang-Chi?
My time is passing, but your time approaches swiftly.
You have helped Dafeng, the spirit of air, find his courage. The final spirit has been restored. The 4 elemental spirits will help you speak with the land and uncover its plight. But first, I have one small task to ask of you. Join me, my pupil. Accompany this old Pandaren to the Western Grove.
Come, child. We have one final journey to take together before your training is complete.
Very well, Master.
Beyond the Elder's Path lies the Wood of Staves, a sacred place
The Wood of Staves.
the worthy may enter.
Remember when we heard about this earlier?
Of the many ways to prove your worth, I require the simplest of you now. I must know that you will fight for our people. I must know that you can keep them safe. Defeat the Guardian of the Elders, and we may pass.
So note the trees. Remember the story the lore walker told us earlier. Those trees are elders of the past.
Strong indeed, child. This is good. You will need that strength soon. And here we are. Help me with a couple of small tasks while I prepare, if you would.
Are you noticing something on the trees here? Yeah, that's a lot of former elders. And you probably are noticing something about his staff.
It is good to see you, my student.
I do not have the strength of body or will that I once did. I am glad there are noble Pandaren like you to fight on for our people. You have come far, Papaneeks. Things that are done, it is needless to speak about. Things that are past, it is needless to blame. You have faced forest sprites in the Dawning Valley, but the forest sprites in this grove are a different breed, crueler and more dangerous. If you would clear some of these spirits out, the spirits would thank you. I am tired, Papaneeks. I must rest. We have a ritual to perform. but we require some of the charms from this grove. If you wander the grove, you should see them all over hanging from the trees. If it does not offend one as young as you, will you permit me to sit and recover my strength while you gather these charms? Of course, Master Shang-Chi. By all means, sit, rest. Every one of these was an elbow. I'm actually wanting to see if I can figure out where Lu Lang's is. If that's even marked or possible. Hey, get away from me.
I need to target something first.
Do not desecrate these. As you pull your hand away from the stone, it feels as though your spirit is sticking to it for a moment. It's alright, we're Pandaren. We take half falling damage. Now, some of these staves are not full-grown trees yet. But of course, the implication of the story that Lore Walker told us earlier is that each of the trees here used to be one of these, and these are going to become these. And I'm very, very curious, because I don't think I've ever actually seen if perhaps one of these trees has something marked to indicate that it was Lu Lang's. Because that would be such a great touch if Lu Lang's tree is actually marked here for people to actually come here and honor him. Something marked here for this?
I need to get closer. I need a target.
I don't want to keep stealing all these from other players. It would be such a nice touch if one of these trees was actually marked to show that it was Lu Lang's tree. Oh, is it this one? It does stand out. It's got white leaves and everything. It is. This is the one. Lu Lang's final rest. Good night, Shenzhen Su. Do not mourn, old friend. I sleep, and when I awaken, my next great journey begins. This location marks the final resting place of Lu Lang, the first Pandaren explorer. Weary from a lifetime of travels, he rested under the shade of his trusted bamboo umbrella and drifted to what lies beyond. According to legend, the unusual tree growing in this spot sprouted from that very umbrella, and his spirit has merged with the lands of Shenzhen Su's back. In the generations that followed, many of the island's elders have followed, each planting his or her staff in the ground to create the Wood of Staves. I should have known. The white, oh, and you can even see like there's a spiritual power radiating from, the bottom of the tree. And the fact that it's got white leaves and they're like, have an aura around them makes it stand out amongst the rest. That's an excellent touch. And each of these trees was one of the elders. And well, you can probably imagine what Master Shang-Chi is about to do.
Where you pass, greatness follows.
The spirits thank you. Rest feels good. The burdens of life have become a great weight after so many years. You will come through as you always have. You are truly one of my greatest students. I think you will be something the likes of which the world has never seen. This journey shall soon be yours to undertake without me. Stay for a few moments and listen to an old man's words. Let my knowledge serve as a foundation for yours, that you might be greater than I ever was.
For 3,000 years, we have passed the knowledge of our people down. Elder to youth, master to student. Every elder reaches the day when he must pass on and plant his stave with the staves of his ancestors. Today is the day when my staff joins these woods. Our people have lived the whole of their lives on this great turtle, Shenzhen Su. But not in hundreds of years has anyone spoken to him. Now Shenzhen Su is ill, and we are all in danger. With the help of the elements, you will break the silence. You will speak to him. Asa and Ji have retrieved the spirits and brought them here. You are to go with them. Speak to the great Shenzhen Su and do what must be done to save our people. You've come far, my young student. I see within you a great hero. I leave the fate of this land to you.
Nice little touch there. His staff sprouts flowers as he fades away. Goodbye, Master Shang-Chi. And, when we return, we will be speaking with Shen Jinsu himself. Stay tuned.